This is DRF Race of the Day. Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. The DRF Race of the Day for Saturday, March the 20th is the Grade 2 $1 million Louisiana Derby. Let's throw up the field. Race number 14 at the fairgrounds. You can download free formulator past performances for this important Kentucky Derby prep on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Access them, handicap along with us. The 6 Mandalon, the 4 Proxy, the 7 Midnight Bourbon. They have been knocking heads all winter at the fairgrounds, and there's not much to separate the three.
That's true enough, Dan. I mean, so far they've, the last 2 times they've all run in the same race, and it really has been pretty close among all of them. I don't really feel like any one of the 3 has separated himself from the others. Although I guess, many people will just think that Mandalon's the best of them after winning the Risen Star last time.
Well, let's throw up the Timeform U.S. Pace Projector. Remember, this race is at 1 mile and 3/16. That could be key, as could the pace. I'm not sure if the red bar scenario is right. I think they'll go a legitimate pace. Right and Just was on the lead in the Risen Star with Midnight Bourbon not far behind. They could be 1-2 once again. Would you be real aggressive with Midnight Bourbon, who took them all the way on the lead in the Lecomte? Would you try to wrest the lead away from the long shot?
I don't think they need to do that. I sort of felt like this race could be run in a similar fashion to the Risen Star. Personally, and maybe I'm wrong about this, I didn't feel like sitting off another horse cost Midnight Bourbon in that race, but maybe it did.
Star in My Dreams is the number 1, and he won his first 2 starts for Dallas Stewart. Dallas ran him in the Risen Star, and he didn't break very well. He was in behind horses, and he just didn't fire. I think the fact that Dallas is running him back here is a very good sign.
Yeah, I liked him last time. I thought his first 2 races pointed him out as a colt with some potential, Dan, and I'd be willing to give him another chance in here. I like that they're coming back to take another shot at these horses. And at the end of the day, while he didn't run well last time, I'm not going to try to excuse it. Listen, you're right. He didn't break great. He was very rank, very headstrong. First time through the stretch, all the way around the first turn. His rider just could not get him to settle, and I'm sure that it cost him at some point in the race. He switches to Saez here. If he's just a little bit more settled and get out of the gate a little bit better, I think he'll run a lot better in this race.
The 2 Right and Just is your expected pace setter from Timeform US. And this horse was a gate-to-wire winner first off the claim in his seasonal debut. And he was the pace setter in the Risen Star. I just didn't see the excuse. They're taking a shot again, going a longer distance. I think he really has to improve off that last race.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Dan. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see them put him on the front once again. And I respect the fact that he's, sort of improved with each and every race so far. Maybe he can do it again, but it is hard to take him on based off the result of that Risen Star.
The 3 Run Classic is a run-happy colt that sold for a lot of money as a 2-year-old, $475,000, and he survived his 2-turn debut. He thrived in his 2-turn debut, an 85 Beyer speed figure against maidens. That's a legitimate Beyer that puts him not with the top horses in this race, but in a situation where he could take a step forward.
Yeah, I agree. I thought he ran fine last time. I mean, they're going to step him right up here to face, some really good horses. And he's also giving away a lot of seasoning to those horses. So it feels like this could be a tough race for him. But, I'll be honest, Dan, if you're not sold on the Risen Star horses, why not take a shot here? This horse ran legitimately well breaking his maiden last time.
The beautifully bred number 4 Proxy adds blinkers for this race. The blinkers on move worked for Mandalon when he won the Risen Star. We'll see if it works for Proxy, a horse that really has done little wrong in his career. He's well bred. I'm not worried about the 1 mile and 3/16. He has tactical speed. Listen, Midnight Bourbon won the Lecomte. Mandalon won the Risen Star. Maybe it's this horse's turn.
Yeah, it certainly could be. He seems like he fits right in with those horses. I can sort of understand why they're going to put blinkers on, Dan, when you go back and, look at that Risen Star. It just seemed like for whatever reason around that second turn, he just wasn't holding his position. It looked like he was going to drop back out of contention. And then once they got into the stretch, he regathered again, came running to get second. So, maybe they're just trying to get him to focus a little more. And if that's all it takes, he could easily turn the tables.
With all the hype surrounding the good Baffert 3-year-olds and Essential Quality, the 2-year-old champion, Hot Rod Charlie, the number 5, seems to be flying under the radar. He was second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and this was a good seasonal debut. Let's watch the Robert Lewis at Santa Anita in late January. He took on Medina Spirit, who's a solid horse, and Hot Rod Charlie just battles it out in between horses. He really never quits. Medina Spirit would come back to run second with a 95 Beyer. This is a horse with good tactical speed. And again, if you don't like the fairgrounds horses, this might be the alternative.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, that's the way I kind of looked at the race. I mean, it is worth pointing out here in that race that we're watching there, that Lewis, that Medina Spirit did, survive a very strong and contested pace. So it's not like Hot Rod Charlie had any real excuse in there not to run him down. But I just thought, all in all, as a 3-year-old debut, especially when you catch a race with a fast pace like that to test your fitness right away, I thought he ran well in there, and I thought he ran well in the Breeders' Cup too. I know that was another fast-paced race, but he ran well in the Breeders' Cup as a huge long shot.
Mandalon is your morning line favorite, and this horse might have been compromised by a lack of pace and a wide trip in the Lecomte. He got a better setup in the Risen Star first-time blinkers. He's had a similar trip, and he eventually forged on by in the stretch to beat 5 of these horses. This is a horse that obviously has a good amount of ability, and you have to respect his tactical speed.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with all that stuff. I understand why he's the morning line favorite, and maybe it will just turn out that now the blinkers made a little bit of a difference, and now he's just going to, sort of prove his superiority over some of these horses going forward. If that's the case, so be it. He's going to be a short price in here. Personally, watching his races, I don't see why he's, so much better than the horses he just beat in the Risen Star. Maybe he will turn out to be, but I don't know, Dan. I wasn't blown away by his win last time. It doesn't make me want to take a short price on him.
I'm a big fan of the 7 Midnight Bourbon, but I wonder if he's starting to be dressed up a little bit. In the Lecomte, he just was the only speed in the race. Joe Talamo broke from the rail, just took the race to everybody, and he had enough to beat Proxy and Mandalon. And last time out, the pace was fairer. He was up close. I really couldn't find the excuse. He didn't quit at all. He tried hard all the way down to the wire. I think he's going to sit another good trip off the 2, get the jump on Proxy and Mandalon. He's just going to have to find a little bit more.
Yeah, he probably is. We'll see what happens here. I don't think that either Mandalon or Proxy have shown that they're clearly superior to him. Maybe they are, but so far they haven't shown that. And it feels like, once again, he'll be, of those 3 horses anyway, he'll be the biggest price.
And Obesos deserves a chance here. He's never taken a backward step on the buyer scale. And while no match for the big 3 in the Risen Star, he ran an okay 4th after being wide. That was his first start around 2 turns. Maybe he's a sleeper special underneath.
Yeah, be another big price in here, facing the 3 horses that just finished well ahead of him. I mean, I thought he ran fine last time, but he didn't do enough in there to make me feel like he was going to beat all 3 of those horses right back.
Top pick time for the Louisiana Derby, your Saturday race of the day. Mike, you're going with Hot Rod Charlie. He's the stranger. He's also pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Dan. I mean, I just didn't want the Lecomte and Risen Star horses. Maybe they'll just turn out to be better than him, but I wanted the new face. He's the new face. I probably should have went back to Starring in My Dreams because I liked him last time, and I think he deserves another chance, but I'll throw him in there. I put the 5 on top.
Of the fairgrounds horses, I want the one that'll be the best price with the best tactical speed, and I think that's Midnight Bourbon, who's likely going to get a trip similar to what he received last time out. He's a big, good-looking son of Tisna. I'm really not worried about the extra distance. I think he can rebound with another good effort. 7-4-6-5 for me, 5-6-4-1 for Mike. It's the Louisiana Derby, your Saturday race of the day. Best of luck.